Hello and welcome to another match reaction show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzy and I'm your host for today's show. Liverpool have won their opening game of the new Premier League season, and what a performance it ended up being. We'll touch on the key moments of the game very shortly, and we'll also do a player rating today. This is also a calling show for the viewers, so if you'd like to come on and have your say, the link is pinned in the live chat. So yeah, make sure you click on the link and I'll get you on the show in due time. So let's begin with our match review. First half, Ipswich Town certainly started the game in style. They were pretty much on the front foot, very aggressive in their play. They were pressing from the front and giving the Liverpool defence no time on the ball whatsoever. For Liverpool, things just didn't click. We weren't able to control the game, or we weren't able to string a volume of consecutive passes. We had a few shots that were blocked by the Ipswich defence and led to corner kicks, but we were unable to capitalise from those set pieces. But also in open play, Liverpool just didn't do enough to trouble the goalkeeper. The only moment the Ipswich goalkeeper Wharton was needed or was required to be involved in action was when Wolfenden did a misplaced pass that led to Luis Diaz through on goal. He was on sort of a one-on-one. I wouldn't quite say one-on-one, but fair play to Wharton. He came sliding in and made a crucial block to deny the Colombian winger. That wasn't even the best chance of the first half. Ipswich Town were probably the closest to opening the scoreline, with Omari Hutchinson hitting Liverpool on their counter-attack. He cuts inside, applies a low shot, but comfortably saved by Alisson. Junzevi almost scored himself from a corner kick, but his header went over the bar. But the big talking point of the first half was a potential red card, as right winger Burns clearly handballs from a duel with Jota. He was already booked earlier in the first half, but the ref showed his incompetence by not presenting him with a second yellow. So Ipswich Town got lucky with that one. But overall, I think Ipswich Town were the better team in the first half. Liverpool just couldn't get the ball moving. They needed to up the levels in order to compete in this game. Second half, Arne Slot showed his ruthlessness at halftime as he substituted Kwanzaa for Konate. Now, at the time, I thought Kwanzaa may have picked an injury, but Arne Slot revealed after the game that it was a tactical change, as Kwanzaa was losing too many aerial battles, and that's why it was necessary to introduce Konate to the game. And I can't lie, that's quite refreshing to hear from the new coach. He's clearly ready to make the big calls when required and applied the changes in order to help the team. And I like that approach. Liverpool started the second half really positively, creating a number of chances. Salah almost broke the deadlock with a low shot, but that was blocked by Jacob Greaves. Ipswich had a penalty shout, with Van Dijk bringing Delap down to the ground, but nothing was awarded as it was offside before the foul occurred. Luis Diaz had a big opportunity to break the deadlock. Neat play from OZWRLD to start the move. In the end, Trent Alexander-Arnold lays it off to Luis Diaz, only a few yards out. He's onside. Unfortunately, his effort goes over the bar. Huge opportunity for Liverpool. And for me, he should have scored there. Slight shouts for handball, as the keeper did make a bit of a touch on Diaz as he went down, but not for me. The moments later, Trent hits a beautiful whipped cross towards the danger zone. Jota leaps in the air and tries to guide the ball into the back of the net with a header, but unfortunately, he misses the target and it just goes wide. Even that chance, I think he should have done better. He was not far out from the 6-yard box. So, yeah, should have done better there, especially as Jota's very good with his headering. But Liverpool managed to break the deadlock. Lovely through ball from Trent to Salah, who cuts it back to Jota, who then sidefoots the ball into the back of the net. The first goal of the Arne Slot era. Nice counter-attack from the Reds. Everything just started to click from there onwards. The team were playing with a bit more confidence, producing more quick and slick passes, and that goal was proof of that. Liverpool then make it 2-0. Great play from OZZWRLD to thread the through ball to Mohamed Salah, who controls it and slots it in the back of the net. What a performance in the end from the Reds. A game of two halves. Liverpool were rusty and probably because of the midday kickoff, but they found their rhythm in the second half and produced a scintillating performance in the end. So before we end the show, let's do the player rating. If you'd like to come on, hit the link now and I'll get you on very, very shortly. So let's start from the back. Let's start with the goalkeeper. So Alisson wasn't busy in this game. He made a few saves here and there, but it wasn't anything that was, I'll say, close to being converted, because the shots that were applied by Ipswich Town players, they were straight at the keeper or just over the bar. So he wasn't really troubled today. So a solid performance from the Brazilian goalkeeper. So I'll give him a rating of 7 out of 10. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he was decent in the first half. In the first half, I think his position was altered a little bit, where he was becoming more of an inverted fullback. And I just feel like it just provided a bit of confusion, and the middle of the park seemed a bit crowded from a Liverpool point of view as well. Second half, he was much better, attacking the right flank like he used to do when he first broke into the team as a fullback. And the crosses that he produced were out of this world. Really fantastic end product from the right back there. And I feel like he had a decent second half. He got substituted in the end, but I feel like it was due to his quick passing, and so positioning on the pitch really helped Liverpool open up and create those chances that led to goals. So for me, I would say he had a decent performance. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well. Kwanzaa, yeah, I didn't think he was that bad, to be honest with you. The reason that he was substitute was because he wasn't winning a lot of his aerial duels. I feel like there were times where he actually did quite well with his aerial duels, where if the ball was lofted towards our defensive box, he would make headed clearances here and there. But maybe it was the percentage rate might have been quite low. So Arne Slot wasn't happy with that, especially as Ipswich were playing more of a direct game where they was kicking the ball quite high up towards the box rather than playing through with short passes. They were trying to whip long balls into the box. So Arne Slot showed no remorse. He knew a tactical change had to be made, and he did it at half time. I can tell Kwanzaa wasn't overly pleased with that decision. But at the end of the day, the team comes first. So you have to give credit to the manager, who was bold enough to make that move right on the start of second half. Fair play to him. But in terms of Kwanzaa, I didn't think he was that bad. I thought he was decent, but obviously not good enough to start the second half. So I'll give him a 6 out of, not a 4. 6 out of 10 there. Van Dijk, another solid performance from him today. There were especially moments in the second half where he started producing his trademark diagonal passes. Looked really solid, really assured. Never really troubled. I remember he made one misplaced pass in the first half. It didn't really lead to anything, but I just think with this whole Liverpool team, it was just a bit of rustiness in the first half. Maybe it was the timing of the game as well. They're not fully awake. I'm not making excuses, but it does happen. When you're playing midday kickoffs, it's not where you're fully energetic. So, and it's the first day of the season for Liverpool. So for us, it was just making sure we produce a good level performance, and we did in the end. I think Van Dijk definitely played a part. So for me, Van Dijk gets he gets I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Um, Robertson for me was a bit on the quieter side, to be honest. I initially I thought Simicast would have started this game just because he's been in good form in pre-season, but Arne Slot decided to go with Robertson in the end, and I thought he was okay. I don't think he contributed a lot from an attacking point of view. Um, I still feel like the balance on the left isn't right when Robertson and Diaz play. It's just something that I don't think has worked. And it's probably an area that they both need to try and work on a little bit more. But no, he had a solid performance, just nothing spectacular for me to say anything else. So I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10. I don't think he was better than Trent today, so I'll give him a 6 point. Well, the computer not allowing me to do 0.5. There we go, 6.5 there. Let's talk about the double pivot. So McAllister, for me, similar to Robertson, had a solid game, but I don't think he was as impactful as I would have liked him to have been. I know he's playing a double pivot, but he was given a bit more of a license to roam forward. I just don't feel like he was very clinical in terms of his passing. He wasn't very influential in sort of the passes threaded into that final third. So I had a solid game, but for me, not as impactful as I would have liked, and from what we've seen from McAllister last season. So today I'll give him a 7. I would say 7 due to the fact that he was probably decent in the first half and first half and second half, whereas a lot of the players were quite bad in the first and then improved drastically in the second. So kind of balance it out. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. And the guy next to him, for me, was phenomenal today. Really, really sensational performance from Ryan Gravenberch. Really impressed from the get-go, to be honest with you. And it's just the little details that I really liked in terms of how he played. So it's going to sound very simple, but even when he just received the pass from the centre-back, the way he controlled the ball and the way he did the half-turn and did it with confidence and natural ability. It wasn't like he was concerned when someone passed the ball to him and he didn't know what was around him. He knew one step ahead what he was going to do. So once he controlled that first ball, he knew exactly what the next move was going to be. So I feel like this double pivot role is the role that suits him the best. Some may argue and say, he's not a number 6. When you're playing a double pivot, you're not just a destroyer. You're in between a number 6 and a number 8. So you've got to do the defensive work, but at the same time, you've got to contribute from an attacker point of view if there is spaces in front of you. And for me, I just feel like he used the ball very well. There were times where he controlled the ball and he zipped crosses or long passes to one wing and then one to another as well. Very good in terms of showing his passing range and his ball playing ability. And yeah, the goals as well, it started from his quick passing as well. So he looked very assured, and I was very impressed with how he performed. Now, some would ask, do we need a number 6 if we've got a player like Gravenberch that can do a job? For me, yes, we still need a number 6. We still need another player that is a specialist in that role, and that is a technician, is a deep playmaker. So someone that can play alongside of Gravenberch or alongside McAllister, that's the person we need right now. And I didn't have any doubts, but for me, it's good to see Gravenberch playing at this level because now, even if we do make that signing, people know that if there's an injury or if someone's out of form, Gravenberch is more than comfortable and more than ready to step in when required. So I feel a lot of people are sleeping on Gravenberch just because he had some good times at Ajax, went over to Bayern Munich, didn't get much game time, so I feel like he became that forgotten person, and people kind of just not disrespect, but just disregarded his ability because he had one off season, and I think that's a bit unfair. And so when we signed him, I was over the moon because he was a player that I really liked from his Ajax days, and seeing him play that similar role that he's actually played today, where he used to play in the double pivot and was fantastic for Ajax, really controlled their midfield, bossed it to an extent, and showed good strength on and off the ball, and his passing was good, and he showed that account of himself today. So For me, really, really impressive performance from Ryan Gravenberch. He gets 9 out of 10 for me. I thought he was really, really good. Now we can go on to Szoboszlai being a midfielder. So Szoboszlai, yeah, he had a shocking first half to say the least. And you all know I'm a big fan of Szoboszlai, so I have to be honest. His passing was way, way off the mark. The game was just going past, and he just was in no man's land at times. But second half, he showed his quality. He showed his energy. He showed that he's a dynamic player. His ball playing ability in terms of passing and dribbling the ball was really good. Played a part in terms of Salah's goal, provided the assist there. And I definitely feel like it was his sort of attitude, but also his sort of tenacity, the way he was playing, that helped galvanize the team a little bit more because he was very aggressive in his off-ball ability there. So for me, really, really impressed with his performance in the second half. That's the benchmark now. That's what I need to see from him week in, week out. And if he's able to produce that, he'll get the respect he deserves. Because right now, I feel like he's not getting the sort of respect amongst us Liverpool fans due to the fact that he had a poor second half of last season. I know there's a player there. I know what he's capable of. It's just a matter of time before he unlocks and shows the world. So for me, a good performance in the end. Wasn't a great first half, but in the end was a good performance from Szoboszlai. So he gets a 7.5 out of 10 for me. What has gone on my scores? 7.5. There we go. So on to Diaz. This is why Diaz gets mixed reactions from Liverpool fans, because I feel like he was very good in terms of his overall play, where he was very aggressive in terms of his attacking sense, really charging down that left flank and causing havoc for Tuanzebe. But at the same time, the big sort of question mark with regards to his end product is his finishing, where he creates a lot of chances for himself, but he doesn't convert enough. There was that one chance where he dribbled from the left side, cut in, went past 2-3 players, and the shot, he just lashed it and it went high and wide. These are the moments that differentiates top level players to like world class. And he has a lot of ability that he could be regarded as world class, but for me, he's not consistent enough. And in front of goal, he's not potent, he's not clinical, and that's something he really needs to improve going forward, because you've got the likes of Cody Gakpo waiting on the wings to take his place in the team. And Cody Gakpo is probably a more clinical finisher to Luis Diaz. So for me, a decent performance in terms of his sort of pressure towards the opposition and his output, but I feel like the end product was just lacking today. So for me, he gets a 7 out of 10, just like his shirt number. Mohamed Salah, good performance from him today. In the first half, I feel like his touch was slightly off. There's a couple of occasions where the Liverpool defense pinged long balls towards him, and he just wasn't able to get his first touch right, and he wasn't able to get around Davis, the Ipswich left back, on many occasions. So definitely struggled to find that rhythm in the first half. Second half, much better. Played his natural game where he came a bit more infield and wasn't worried about taking on the fullback one-on-one. When he got the ball, he did half a yard and it just did, whether it's a pass or a cross, he just focused on the end product more so, rather than trying to overthink how he's going to beat his man there. And in terms of his end product, obviously got a goal, which was the second goal of the game, and then got an assist providing for Jota. So 1 goal, 1 assist, and also today marks 300 goal contribution in 350 appearances, which is a phenomenal achievement. And he also broke the records of scoring the most goals in the Premier League for the opening fixture. I think the person that was in second was Frank Lampard with 8 goals. He managed to eclipse that today with 9 goals. So Mohamed Salah keeps on breaking records as he normally does, and he will continue to do so. So for me, in terms of his performance today, I'll give him a score of 8.5 out of 10. And then Diogo Jota, for me, had a slightly quiet first half, but then I was saying the last 10 minutes of the first half, he really came to life. He dropped deep and then started driving the ball a little bit more. That's something I want to see from Jota a lot more. He showed that account of himself in the Sevilla game last week, in the preseason friendly. So I know he's got in his locker. He just needs to apply a lot more. And then he went over to the left-hand side, which he definitely did a decent job there as well. So in terms of the goal, lovely finish, side-footed finish into the corner. But moments before, he had that chance of a header. Should have scored. He was quite close from the goal, and he normally buries those away. So unlucky not to have a brace today. But generally, I think he had a good game, and I think he will improve going forward. And it's good to see him back. For me, he's our first choice striker. When everyone's fit, he's number one in front of goal. He's just a spectacular finisher. So for me, today he gets 7.5 out of 10. So that is my player rating for the first 11. So drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. So it's only right that I select the man of the match. And that goes to Groundberg. So let me know what you guys think in terms of who your man of the match is. I know TNT Sports awarded Mohamed Salah as man of the match. For me, he had a great game, but I feel like Groundberg really stood out and edges it for me. So drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think in terms of my ratings. Even if you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a comment with your scores. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. So what we'll do before we end the show, we will add the substitutes and then briefly discuss their performance. So Kwanzaa came off for Konate. So in terms of Konate, he had a decent performance when he came on. Didn't have to do much, to be fair. I think Liverpool looked a lot more assured in possession, had a bit more control in comparison to the first half. But he was brought in to use his frame and be effective in aerial battles, and he's certainly played his part and also covered ground on the right-hand side whenever Trent went down the flank. So for me, solid introduction to the game. It'll be interesting to see who starts in the next one. Is Kwanzaa drop for Konate? Or does Konate keep his place? Remains to be seen. But in terms of his rating, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. And then the next player is Bradley. Why has Trent got 5? Apologies, I have no idea why he's got 5. What did I give Trent earlier? I gave Trent a 7. So just for the record, Trent got 7 and not a 5 out of 10. But yes, he will be replaced by Bradley. Yeah, who actually had a good cameo when he came on, really aggressive. At times came infield, even had the opportunity to score, which was saved by Walton in the end. So no, decent cameo. Really, really impressed with how he played. Yeah, it's good to have him off the bench as well. I know Trent will be playing most of the games at right back, but he's a worthy understudy, and good to see him playing his natural game. And he will definitely add goals just because he's very attack minded, but defensively he can do the job as well. So for me, he gets 7 out of 10 as well. Cody Gakpo came on for Diogo Jota in the end. Let's remove Jota. For me, Gakpo, a bit quiet, to be honest with you, in terms of his performance. Didn't have a lot of time to make a huge impression, so I can't really give him a thorough sort of analysis. But he will be excited about the proposition of playing for Arne Slot's team. I feel like tactically he'll fit in fantastically, whether he plays on the left, can even play in the number 10 role if required, or up top. So he'll be interesting going forward. I think Luis Diaz certainly needs to be a bit more clinical in front of goal. Otherwise, Gakpo can easily come and take his place. So for me, I'll give him a 6 out of 10 for his rating today. And The final player is Simicast. Yeah, he didn't have too much time to make an impression, unfortunately. Similar to Gakpo, where they both came on, I think, with 10 minutes remaining. I was very surprised actually that he didn't start. I would have expected for him to have started because I was really impressed with how he played against Sevilla. Also scored in preseason against United, so definitely a player that I feel like will flourish in this new style of play, where the fullback is required to be a bit more attack minded and have end product. And Simicast definitely has that. That has a great delivery from the left hand side, and he will get a lot of game time, in my opinion. So today, yep, unfortunately unlucky not to start, but had a decent cameo when he came on, so I'll give him a 6 out of 10 as well. So that is the player rating for today. Just got a comment here from Luke1688. He says, hi, big up Luke. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for tuning in. And yes, we have a caller. So let me bring the caller on and then we can discuss with him. So, back Liverpool, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, Yosi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. The floor is yours, my
Oh,
friend.
that's very good. It's just concerning the game. I
Yes.
think I have my positives and my negatives, which I really want us to share and discuss.
Yeah.
My positive in the match is one thing people come out to say, oh, Liverpool did not play well in the first half. I know that, and you can know that this is the first game of the season. This
Yes.
is the first proper competitive game.
Yeah.
It's not something that we, as soon as the game kicks off, after all, even I can remember some of the games we played, first match we played, there was one we played under Jurgen Klopp versus Fulham. It was, I think it was a 2-2 draw or something.
Yeah.
And first games are like this because these are competitive games. And Ipswich Town is a club that they want to show how strong they are. They
Yeah.
want to show how they got here. You are playing in a home game. Their home teams are happy. I mean, the home fans are happy.
Yeah.
You could see, I think I watched, was it an interview from Eda Salah or something, saying that the way their fans were, hyping their players and other things. So it's not something Liverpool fans have to get in their head and say, oh, and we all know that the first half is not that good, but this is a first match. Let's just understand it. The more they play together, the more they improve. That's number one. Number
Yeah.
two is that at the end of the day, it was a 2-0 game, 3 points in the bag. We didn't concede, and that's very good.
Yes.
Number three is Diogo Jota. I am ready to give you my, what do you call it? If you want my ankle, if you want my one of my right or I'm ready to donate it this season. Please, if Diogo Jota Diogo Jota can hear us, I'm ready to donate. If it's my hamstring, I will donate to him till after the season. I am ready, 100%, so that he will stay fit because his absence cost us that league.
Yes.
There's something Liverpool fans doesn't understand. I'm just talking about the positive first before I move to the negative.
Yeah, go for it.
If not the 2 points or the 3 points we lost against Tottenham last season, because I know that if that Luis Diaz goal against Tottenham last season was counted, we would have won that match.
Yeah.
If not VAR decision against Arsenal, what's the name of this guy? That their midfielder, is he Odegaard or something? A handball.
Yes.
Odegaard handball, the 18-yard balls. If not that, we would have won extra 2 points, making it five, right?
Yeah.
If not Jeremy Doku's VAR decision or referee decision against us, Jeremy Doku's, what
Yeah.
do you call it? Foot, I don't know what he did, like a foot kick on McAllister's chest.
Yes.
If not
He
that, we would
smashed
have
on
won
his
that
chest with
game.
blood. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
we would have won that game. It should have been an extra 7 points.
Yeah.
If not Darwin Nunes meet and miss, hit and miss against Luton Town. You remember away to Luton Town,
Okay.
that 2 3 sitters he missed would have gotten extra 2 points. It should have been 9 points to take
Yeah.
us to win that league. What does it show? This squad is capable of doing it, but I have a problem. And the problem I have with this squad is the negatives I'm going to point out now. Number one, if anything happened to any section of this team, it will affect us going forward. I give you an example. If something happens today, though God forbid, let it not happen because I'm ready to donate any part of my body to make sure that these guys are good. But assuming if something happened to Virgil van Dijk,
Yes.
if something happens to McAllister, because if you want that midfield is like we came with all we had.
Yeah.
The three midfielders together with Elliott and Curtis Jones on the bench. These are the 5 fit players we have. If something happens to Mohamed Salah, of which in all these players, there's no replacement.
Yeah.
You see, so this is why I'm crying to the Bournemouth sporting director, because as far as I'm concerned, he's not a Liverpool sporting director, Richard Hoos. He's still in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. Because if somebody is going to make a signing to sign a goalkeeper and loan to Bournemouth, it means that person's head is still in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So if he's seen all these lapses, it means that he needs a signing. Give us a signing. Like, I see this team, 3 players. We
Yeah.
are 3 players short of challenging to win this league, honestly.
Totally
Get
agree.
us a centre back. We are
Yeah.
not asking for an 80 million pound centre back. What we
Yes.
are asking for is just, even if it's Inacio, which will be cost around 35 million pounds, get it for us. Get us a defensive midfielder. Get us somebody who will replace Salah.
Yeah.
Salah does. Jota was playing up to, I think, up to 70 something minutes or something, 70
Yeah.
minutes. I was scared. I was scared because if anything happens to him now,
Yeah.
we resort back to hit and miss. So we need these 3 things done.
Definitely.
Ozzy, the Champions League football have increased.
Yeah.
It's not the way you played 6 games. I think now it's, I don't know if it's 7 or 8 that you have to play. It has
Yeah.
increased. So
Yeah.
we
It's
need to do
a
something.
league. It's a league table now, so it's not even groups. So the
Yes,
teams, they qualify straight away. So yeah, it's a very different format now.
yes. So we have to do something about it because I've watched this game. The game I watched today, the intensity of this league is not
Yeah.
something that, what's the name of this our young defensive midfielder? The one that had injury throughout last year.
Bajtic.
But budgeting is
Yeah.
not, this kind of game is not something you throw him in. But honestly speaking to you, budgeting should go on loan.
Yeah.
He should go on loan to get, even if it's for 6 months. Ozzy, we can't keep this player short because the more game time Jota need to play and go and, even if it's 60 minutes, he go and sit down. Another person comes in. Salah, you don't need to play Salah in and out. I know he's strong. I know his injury record is good and stuff like that. But there are games you need to remove these guys for the next game.
Yeah.
So that is what we are doing. That is the problem I see in this squad. And that is why we Liverpool fans are crying, calling Richard Hughes to
Yeah.
do something for us. Please, for 2 months, you don't have to go to US to eat ice cream. To, You don't have to go. Please go and do something. June, July, August.
Yeah, that's
We
the
are
only time he
dealing
needs to work. After that, he can relax
opportunity,
a little bit.
opportunistic signing. That's what
Yes.
he told us. You
Yeah.
told a club like Liverpool that we should wait for opportunistic signing. Does he realize that he's in Liverpool? Is he still in Bournemouth?
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you need a DM. You went to buy a goalkeeper from Valencia to loan to Bournemouth when you need a
Yeah.
defensive midfielder.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Okay, this is up to 1 week that this guy rejected Liverpool and he has not seen any other deal.
No, we're not linked with anyone either. That's a
No,
concern. We're not linked.
it's a very big concern.
It
It's
is.
a very big concern. Look at Arsenal in the defense line. They are stuck.
Yeah.
They are stuck in that defense line. Look at other clubs. I'm not talking about other clubs. I'm just my
No,
rival
no,
is
it's fair.
Arsenal and
Yeah, it's fair.
yeah. But look at the people we're looking up to. And Guardiola is somebody I don't trust. You will see before deadline transfer day, you will go and get a player. This one 80 million, this one 100 million. Just two players. Add to that squad again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see him, he's quiet now.
Mm,
But before 1st of September, Guardiola will go to this club, get a player 80 million, this one 70 million. They don't care about PSR. They stay added to that squad.
it's true. It's so true.
So, yeah. So, because we're not that type of club that gets 80 million, please, can we go to that our 30 million, 40 million signings?
We're not asking for much, are we? We're not asking
Well,
for, like I said, we're not asking for the 70, 80 million pound player that Pep Guardiola buys. We're asking for certain level players that fit that, it's that sweet spot for us. 30, 35
yes,
million, 40 million. That's the kind of level of signings we're asking. We need additions. And for me, I find it
exactly.
quite frustrating today. I don't know if you heard about Joe Gomez possibly leaving the club as well.
Yeah.
Ridiculous
Is
for
it,
me, in
is
my
it,
opinion.
is he living for real?
So the rumor right now is that he wasn't selected in the squad today, so he wasn't even on the bench. It's because there's possibility of him leaving. So I think there might be some talks. In terms of the club, they didn't announce it. He's got interest from Newcastle, Chelsea, and he's also got interest from Bayern Munich as well. So there's no certainty in terms of which club he's joining. But as it stands, he might be in negotiations with someone in the background, but they didn't really give too many details. But that's why he wasn't selected, not because he wasn't fit. It was due to this reason. So it looks like he could be leaving Liverpool. And the silly thing about it is that now they're saying that, oh, we're going to sign a centre back because Joe Gomez is leaving. But why are we signing a centre back because he's leaving? It should be a centre back on top of Joe Gomez staying. Joe Gomez shouldn't have
Yes,
to leave for us to sign a new defender. This is what frustrates me about this ownership and the sporting director. I don't know what he's doing. I'll be very honest with you. I have no idea what he's doing. He went to try and sign Zubimendi. He had a release clause, but he didn't want to sign him on the release clause. He wanted to negotiate a release clause. How does that make
yes,
sense? Do you go to supermarket to negotiate buying some fruit or anything like that? No, the price is there. If you want it, you buy it. If you don't have it, you can't buy it. It's as simple as that. It's very simple analogy from our point of view that we should have just paid the release clause and got the deal done. Because we spent time and tried to haggle for a lesser fee. I think the player might thought, you know what, they don't actually really want me. They don't really respect me if they're trying to negotiate a release clause. So a lot of factors involved in terms of why that deal didn't happen. I'm blaming on Richard Hughes. I think he was solely responsible for that deal not happening. And for me, I'm not having it in terms of understanding that it was only Zubimendi and that's the only target. You can't tell me he's the only player in world football that can play for
in,
Liverpool at number 6 for. That makes no
exactly,
sense. No sense whatsoever.
exactly. You know, Ozzy, there's a
Yeah.
problem I tell people. There's one thing I tell people about Liverpool, and I'm going to say it here, and I'm going to justify it with what I think. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, when people who are not Liverpool fans are managing Liverpool Football Club, I repeat, when people who are not Liverpool fans
Yeah.
are managing the club, so they are managing it based on their financial wherewithal, that their
Yes.
financial well-being, that is like you working in a company you are not interested in. You are just working there to get the money. It doesn't concern you. The quality of their products, it doesn't concern you. Just
Mm.
working to get the money. That's what is happening in Liverpool. You got an owner who he's not a fan. He just bought the club for financial reasons. That's my
Yes.
opinion. Two,
I think you're
you
spot on.
got,
I think you're
yeah,
spot
you got sporting director who is not a Liverpool fan. And let me differentiate this thing for you. Can
on.
you go back to Chelsea? Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich is a Chelsea fan
Yeah.
and an owner of the club. So that is why he spent time leaving Russia to come to UK to watch almost all Chelsea games.
Yeah.
You see him in the stand, sitting down, watching, clapping, being passionate.
Mm.
If you have listened to one of the guys that played for Chelsea, a podcast he did, he said that few hours before a match, this guy will arrive with private jets to come and talk to the players. What's going on? If
Yeah.
the team is not doing well, you will see him in the training ground. You will see a private jet roaming about. Before you know what is happening, he's in the training ground asking senior players, what's going on with this? This is a fan and an owner.
Facts.
With due respect, I ask you, how many times have you seen John Henry watching Liverpool game at Anfield?
He comes once a year. I'm not even exaggerating. Literally, and it's probably a Liverpool versus Manchester United fixture. It's always that fixture where I think he turns up, but generally he doesn't
Yeah.
come.
Now, ask your sporting director. You employ the sporting director. He's not a Liverpool fan. He's not connected to Liverpool.
No.
He was a Bournemouth sporting director. What has he done? And you employed him based on what?
He's Michael Edwards'
And
friend. That's why.
yeah, yeah, just sentiment. Now you employ this guy. This guy came into the club
Yeah.
for 3 months. He's negotiating Zubimendi deal for
Yeah.
3 good months. Look at all the targets in the world. Look at the five top leagues in the world. That five top league, each of the league has 20 teams.
Yeah.
20 times 5 is 100, which means if you go to all these teams, you can get like 110 defensive midfielders. He's negotiating them. He couldn't get one for us.
Yeah.
Look at our defense. They are good in. You can sleep and wake up, and Joe Gomez is sold. And that is why I know Luis Diaz is not, his end product is not good. But when people say sell Luis Diaz, I can give you guarantee, or I can speak my opinion that these people will sell Luis Diaz and will tell you that they are still looking for the right type of player to buy, and the window will close. We sold Fabio Cavarro,
Yeah.
we sold Bobby Clark. These two signings, we have at least cash of 30 million at hand.
Yes.
We couldn't stay buy players. Tomorrow you will sleep and wake up tomorrow and they will sell Joe Gomez. And people are here saying, oh, sell Luis Diaz and buy Anthony Gordon. What guarantee do you have that if these
Yeah.
people sell Luis Diaz, they will buy Anthony Gordon? You see, the problem with us is we we trusted Michael Edward. To me, my opinion, FSG brought Michael Edward to make money for them.
100%.
They felt, oh, if we bring this guy, we'll make more money.
Yeah.
Tell me how a big club like Liverpool, you are going for Premier League, you are going for Champions League. At least these are two top leagues you are going for in the world. You saw how this team gassed out. It didn't touch them. If it's in Chelsea, where Roman Abramovich is the owner, and this type of shit happen, heads will roll. People will lose their job.
True. Yeah.
But but because this is what FSG wants, this is what Michael Edward wants. And already they have already communicated to this guy, hey, this squad is good. We just want to make money. Just say something. That is why every day they out. They want to know this guy. They are interested in money. Just the money they are going to make. Money that will come into this club. They are not interested in investing into this club. I told you one thing the last time I called here.
Yeah.
Why did Liverpool depreciate when it comes to squad was Michael Edward.
Yeah.
We won the Premier League. We won the Champions League. We should have the level of Liverpool, it should have been the same level with Real Madrid today.
Yeah.
We should have been in that trajectory of Real Madrid now. But why? The problem that we had is because Michael Edward is in fact, if not Jurgen Klopp, is even Jurgen Klopp. That's why people blame Klopp. Oh, Michael Edward wanted to sell Henderson. He wanted to sell James Milner. He wanted to. Klopp already know that if you sell this player, that they are not gonna give you player, and that's why he
Good
refused
point. Yeah. Very good point.
and told them to sign this contract because it will be hard. We entered under Michael Edward leadership. We entered the season with Van Dijk, Matip, and Konate, three centre backs for Premier League, for Champions League, for FA Cup, for Carabao Cup, three centre back under his leadership. And you want Klopp to trust them by giving away Henderson, by giving away James Milner. That was why Klopp even allowed those people to run down their contracts.
Yeah.
Because he felt that if they do this thing, they are going to leave him short. They are going to keep him short.
That's
So
true.
this is the same Michael Edward now that has come back into the fold. And people are saying, oh, trust Edward. Oh, trust Huge. As far as I'm concerned, Richard Hughes is not a Liverpool fan.
No. I can't disagree with anything you said. I probably agree with everything you said. The Michael Edwards thing, I think we're just going off by the past in terms of his recruitment history and stuff like that. But like you said, he is recruited by FSG for a specific reason. And the reason was
Yeah,
to obviously generate revenue through player sales, and that money can be used for their own benefit. I.e., if they want to buy an NBA club, they can go on and do so. Because right now, like I said, we've generated 20 million from the Carvalho deal. We've got 10 million from the Bobby Clark deal. I'm sure there's other sales that we've made, but they're like not big deals. But we've got 30 million plus to spend right now. And there's
yeah,
no sort of inkling that we're going to sign a player. For me, Richard Hughes, he's not here on merit. It's not like he came from a club and he had a fantastic reputation and he signed so many good players. I'm not buying it because for me there is no good track record. Like he hasn't bought elite players. His best
exactly.
achievement as a sporting director was signing Iraola, the Bournemouth manager, because he was very highly regarded in Spain. So that was a big
Yeah,
coup for that club. But in general speaking, he hasn't done anything that gives me confidence that we're even going to sign anyone this window. That's the big concern. And like you said,
yeah,
with club where we had Milner and Henderson, we gave those contracts. That might be the reason why they got contracts because they probably said, "Oh, we're not going to sign any replacements, or we might sign this 18-year-old kid where you got to wait 2-3 years for him to develop, and then he'll be ready for the first team." That's no use for the short term. That's no use for that present season. So for me,
exactly.
it's a big. I can't lie. I'm very concerned in terms of the transfer activity going on in this club right now because the Joe Gomez news broke just before the game, and that really annoyed me. And I'm concerned that he will go. But if we sign another centre back, we're still short. We don't have a versatile player that can cover the positions that we need as well because he was very important for us last season. In fact, I think if he wasn't in the squad or if he wasn't available, we might not have gotten top four. That's how much of
Yes.
an impact I think Joe Gomez had. So I think Liverpool making a big mistake by selling him. Whoever they're signing, listen, call me a dreamer. I want a elite defender if you're selling Joe Gomez. I want like a
Yes.
Bastoni from Inter Milan. If you sign me someone like that, then I'll be like, do you know
Yeah.
what? Okay, fine. I understand why you sold Joe Gomez because you needed the funds and we needed a left-footed centre back, and he's the best one around. So I understand. But can you say
So,
that that will happen? I can't say with any chest that will happen. That's the
Ozzy,
consensus.
can I tell you what they will do?
Yeah.
What they will do now? In fact, let me tell you, like this thing. If the rumor of selling Joe Gomez is true,
Mm,
you know what they will do? They will catch Joe Gomez for 45 million pounds
yeah.
and go to another club to negotiate a deal of 30 million, 28 million. You see how to for you to see how financially like their level of financial mentality is.
Yeah.
They just need they are profit oriented. If they sign say Joe Gomez 45 million, if they put a little bit money on it to go and sign Bastoni,
Yeah.
we Liverpool fans, we all will be happy. But what they are going to do is to sell Joe Gomez 45 million and go to a club to look for a player they will negotiate. Can we pay in installments? And that is to let me tell you, you see these people, the problem I think with this set of both the sporting director and this and that is as far as they are in that in that level, I don't trust them. Michael Edward, I don't trust you.
Mm,
Richard Hughes, you are not up to the level of being
no.
a Liverpool sporting director. I will take back Shamake all day, all day. Last season,
I would as I
I'm
would
telling
as well.
you, Shamake, I was the part of the one who criticized him last year. But give me back Shamake, I will take him all day. You
Same.
see the way he negotiated this? McAllister deal, easy, piam,
Yeah.
signed. Sobos lie, he went there, piam, signed.
Yeah.
Endo,
Gravenberch,
as soon
Endo.
as soon as the other one did not work, he went straight to Endo. Pick
Mm,
Endo. Caicedo did not work. He went straight to Endo. Endo is an underrated signing, yes, but at least he brought in a defensive midfielder. Can you
yes.
manage this? Went to McAllister, negotiated the deal with Bayern for a long time, but at the end of the day, he succeeded.
Concluded.
But
Yeah.
this one, for 3 good months, 3 good months, June, July. In fact, when when I saw him and I was, wow, what is this guy doing? Was when we are playing a match in US. The preseason we went for. The preseason match. He was there. What is my sporting director doing in US? I'm expecting to be in Spain. I'm expecting to be in Italy, negotiating deals in Portugal. You are in
Yeah.
Spain. You are in the same stadium watching football with fans. That's so crazy.
That
Like
is crazy.
I I don't I don't know, but I think I'm not going to criticize Ernest Lot. I'm not going to criticize the man because when you take somebody to work for you and you don't want to give this person the tools to work,
Yeah.
because this squad I'm looking at now, we are short of 1 or 2 players to go back to the original position we were. Not is it in 2021 to 2022 or something?
Yeah.
The time we struggled when we are just 1 or 2 players to go back to that reset button again.
Mm,
So what they have to do is to build on this squad. Build on this squad. I don't need Joe Gomez. Last season, Robertson have injury,
yeah.
Simikas have injury. It was Joe Gomez that covered for a long part of that season. You need to have in our centre back, we need to have 9 defenders. When I mean 9 defenders, if you
Yeah.
come to right back, we need to have 2 guys. Come to right centre back, we need to have 2 guys. Left centre back, 2 guys. left back two guys. I will need to have an all-purpose midfielder, an all-purpose defender who's going to play across that line
Yes.
in case if something happens to one. That is what big clubs does.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
you want to say Joe Gomez. As I'm just telling you this and that. As soon as they say Joe Gomez, they will go to Portugal, go and start a, go and start negotiating a deal with what's the name? Inacio.
Inacio, yeah.
Uh-huh. As soon as they start, Inacio now is 38 million. They will negotiate the deal since dying minutes of the transfer, the last day of the transfer, opportunistic signing.
Yeah.
And as soon as they go there, it's 38 million. They will call Sporting Lisbon. We pay you 30 in installment. When you have gotten 45 million for this guy, and you go back to Sporting Lisbon, you already have 30 million from other sales, 30 plus. You have 45 million for Joe Gomez. You have close to 80 million with you. And you still go back to Sporting Lisbon to tell them, oh, when I knew that this club was not serious, when this club took 50 million pounds to go to Bordeaux, the club in France, when
Yeah.
they don't have a defensive midfielder, they went to Bordeaux in France to go and buy a club. Ozzy, I keep on saying this, and I'm not gonna stop. The problem that Liverpool has is that people at the end of their affairs are not Liverpool fans like you and I.
Mm.
Ozzy, if you give me a sporting director of Liverpool today, Subimendi deal will be done. I'm going to, if I don't bring Subimendi, I lose my job. I'm going to
Yeah.
bring Subimendi. If you give me Liverpool sporting director today, I'm telling you, I'm going to promise you that Liverpool will be in Champions League final. I'll just tell you, go and book your hotel for the final already because I know what we need.
Yeah.
If you give me Liverpool sport, if they give you, if they give you sporting director of Liverpool today, Liverpool will win this Premier League because you know what we need already. But you gave it to people who are profit oriented. You gave it to people who are not Liverpool fans. You gave it to people who are part of Bournemouth fans. You gave it to people who are going to Valencia to go and negotiate a deal that they are going to send to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So that is the problem we have. And to me, I feel if we keep on going this way, this squad I saw today, they are good. If it comes to people who has the first good, the one of the best good first 11 in England is Liverpool. Because I can tell you, forget people saying I'm not here to big up to our Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
I'm not here to. Arsenal is a good squad, but the only issue I have with Arsenal is that they have not identified what they need. They need a striker, and at the course of the season, they will see it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
because you keep on buying defender when you have the money to go and get a striker that will score goal for you, and you rely on Kai Havertz. So their own is apart. City is a team. As far as Guardiola is in that team, I'm not comfortable because that man can turn water into wine.
Yeah.
Last day of the transfer, you will see what he's going to do. So because we have a new coach, we didn't change much. It's just the same style of play from what we are playing. The only thing that I think and Slot brought into the team is that we don't play high line. So he's very defensive conscious.
Mm.
He don't want the team to concede.
Yeah.
So we are two or three players from challenging for that league.
I agree.
Please, Richard Hughes, Michael Edward, if you can hear us,
Mm.
give us these signings, give us these two signings.
You're spot on. And the thing is, this is the universal tone and message from all of us Liverpool fans. We're not asking for elite players. We're asking for free players because this is the three areas that need improving. We need a centre back. Like you said, if, God forbid, touch wood, Van Dijk gets injured, that's a big problem for us. You know, when he got injured against Everton all those years ago, we struggled that
Yes,
season
yeah,
because we just thought he was invincible, that nothing can happen to him. He's a human being. He can get injured. It is a possibility. So there's no backup plan for these sort of players. Mohamed Salah, since we've signed him, we've never had a right winger as his backup. So that's an
Yeah.
area we need to always address as well. And the defensive midfielder, you mentioned McAllister, if he got injured, we don't really have a technical midfielder to replace him in that double pivot.
Yes. Yeah.
So these are three areas you mentioned that if we get injury, we're in big problems. And this is the three positions that all of us fans are saying we need to add to the squad. Not to sell Joe Gomez to replace someone. And my concern with the Joe Gomez one that I just thought of now, if he's sold and we don't get someone in, do you know who his replacement will be? Vandenberg.
Van der Beek.
He's not good enough to
Oh
be a
my
Liverpool
God.
player.
He's not good enough.
No. So that's my
Ozzy, you know
concern.
this. Ozzy, this is an issue I have. Let me take you back to Jurgen Klopp era.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp did not use Fabio Carvalho. He refused to use Fabio Carvalho. Reason: Fabio Carvalho, Jurgen Klopp tried him on the wings, and he saw that Fabio Carvalho is not that good on the wings. Number one, he can't take on players. He doesn't have that speed. He doesn't have that pace. And in the number 10 area he wants to play, with the type of system
We don't play.
Jurgen Klopp was playing, he felt Fabio Carvalho will not win duels. Running around, putting that energy in the midfield. He's not that strong, like pick up the Fabio Carvalho, but he's not that strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not. He's not.
Now,
He's not suited for the way Klopp wanted to play because
for what
he played very aggressive. He's not very strong on the ball. So obviously, when you're playing as
exactly
a winger, you've got to be strong on and off the ball.
the
And
ball?
honestly, I think Carvalho was an investment. He
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
signed to really play for the team. Look, we bought him for 5 million, I think. We sold him on for
Yeah,
20 plus 28 million add-ons, so 28 million deal. That was the plan.
yeah.
There was no
It
plan
was a
to
plan
pay him.
for him.
Yeah, there was no
Now,
plan whatsoever.
Sir Van der Beek, he never used Sir Van der Beek. I've never used Sir Van der Beek once. He didn't. He
No?
kept on loaning him
Yeah,
out.
it kept
You
learning
know,
him out.
yes, he kept on loaning him out. Almost of these players, he didn't use them. Now, Slot came. Slot brought them together because they gave Slot information. I sent the squad. Slot brought all these people together, spent money, took them to US, the flight, everything, feeding, accommodation, everything, brought them together, took them there. What happened? Today, Slot has now gone back to the same thing, the same squad that Jurgen Klopp used. Who did he add? Did you see any new face? In all the things he took, let us assess the squad. The same thing. Or Fabio Carvalho, that the guy didn't use, what's the name? The club didn't use.
Yeah,
He let him go. Sir Van der Beek, they want to put him on sale.
yeah.
All those young players, they assembled. Oh, don't worry, I'm a coach. We have a coach now who know how to treat young players. All those squad, all those people, none of them. Just go and look at the team lineup and the squad today for the Ipswich game. You cannot see any new face. It is the same club old faces that played. Why did you waste time? Why did you guys waste time leaving this guy to go and what is he assessing?
Mm. The sporting director thing really bugs me because I get your point in terms of we should try and recruit play or people that are Liverpool fans, but sometimes in the football world it's quite difficult to get a sporting director that supports Liverpool. However, we need to sign someone that has a track record of signing quality players because we are not a
I
small
agree
club.
with you.
We are a Liverpool
Yeah,
Football Club. So for us, it needs to be someone that has a track record of being successful at another big club. There are plenty of sporting directors available. So you know the one that West Ham have? He used to be the Bayer Leverkusen one. Look at the way West Ham are signing players. Obviously, they're not Liverpool level, but for a club like
yeah,
West Ham, they're signing really good players. Like Mohamed Kudus that came last year. That should have been a Liverpool signing, in my opinion. So
exactly.
there's a lot of sporting directors that, for me, could have come in and really made an impact in this team. Even the Aston Villa one,
Yes.
Monchi, he used to be the Sevilla one. They used to sign so many good players in Sevilla. Sevilla used to win Europa League every year under Unai Emery.
Yeah.
They have a good relationship. So this is the problem. We've appointed someone, and I don't mean to be rude. I think he's a fraud. He's not good enough to be a Liverpool sporting director. Now, I might eat my words if he buys new players, but as it stands, on the 17th of August, we haven't bought anyone, and it doesn't look like we're buying anyone either. So for me,
Uh,
he's not good enough. He's simply not good.
Because he cannot, when you have caused injury to someone and you are coming back to tell that person, oh, I'm sorry. That first signing that he went to sign Zubimendi, Ozzy, if it's you and I, there are things we can do. I'm talking to Zubimendi, I'm talking to Ederson agents, I'm
Yeah,
talking to Varela agents at the same time, discussing with these three clubs. As soon as Zubimendi is wasting time, the first day, I give him 2 days, first day, second day, and he's still wasting time. The third day, he will hear Liverpool have agreed deal to sign Varela from Porto,
yeah,
or Liverpool have agreed deal to sign with Atlanta to sign Ederson. Simple.
yeah.
So even if that deal did not work, the deal of Zubimendi, the next day, people have seen that you have put a lot of work in bringing in another person. But what did he do? What he just did was to rely on that deal. You are bringing Zubimendi. And Zubimendi did it don't work. And he came back. Oh, Zubimendi did it don't work. Imagine, even I pity for Slot when they were asking him transfer questions. If I
Yeah.
was to be Slot, I would say, oh, I'm not in charge of transfer. I'm a coach. Because
I
these
like
people have
I
taken.
liked his response though. I feel like he tried to say it like that, but not directly. He said, Richard
Yes,
Hughes is doing it. It's his
he's
job.
doing.
It's his
Yeah,
responsibility. He's working himself.
yes,
That basically means I'm the coach. I'm doing my job. This guy
yeah,
needs to do his job. It's not my
yeah.
responsibility. Don't ask me these
You,
questions.
you're right. You're right. That's where the problem comes because this Richard Hughes, to me, I'm still telling people he's appointed not with any track record. To me, I don't see this. I don't see the resume. I don't see the CV that he has
No.
to be a Liverpool sporting director. If you cannot grant a deal, not for I say for 3 months, I employed Chamake. Chamake, we employed Chamake under 1 month. Chamake brought Superslide, brought McAllister,
3 months
did
he
the
was
deal
employed.
neat. Oh yeah, did the deal neat. But this one, he has been a sporting director for 3 good months just to complete one deal. He's in United States
Mm.
going to preseason with Salah. I don't know if he wants to play for Liverpool.
Uh,
Richard Hughes, if you want to play for Liverpool, please, you can come and play the DM for us. Because I don't know why you're following the sporting director. You are following them to preseason. You're supposed to be in Italy. You're supposed to be in Spain, Portugal,
yeah.
negotiating deals. But all he's doing is just to follow them, go there, relax. Time is ticking. Arsenal is there negotiating deal. Chelsea is there buying complete 11 players every season like they do. Aston Villa is there negotiating deal. Even West Ham, they are negotiating deals, bringing in players.
We're the
And you
only
are
team
here.
that hasn't bought a player. Ipswich Town, they bought a DM.
Yeah.
They bought Calvin Phillips. I'm not saying he's our level, but my point is they're getting the job done as well. They're signing players that they need to get. We're not doing anything.
Exactly.
Like Zubimendi was the deal apparently that Richard Hughes was focused on. He put all his eggs in one basket, and now he's got egg on his face because we've got no player
Tell
now.
me, tell me a sporting director that put his head in one basket. A player that has a history of rejecting big clubs. He has
Yes,
rejected Bayern Munich.
look at
He
that.
has rejected Arsenal. He has rejected Barcelona. And what makes you think that a day will come when you are about to negotiate that day and he will not reject? Every sporting director, you have plan A, plan B, plan C.
Yeah,
You are talking to these three people at the same time. You go to these people, how much is your wage? You agree fee here, agree fee the other side, and you're talking to three of them.
Yeah.
So that as soon as you don't go, you go from plan A and plan A is not working, straight to plan B. Get the signing of plan B done. Assuming we don't get this guy and 2 days we'll get Varela, or 2 days, after 2 days we'll get Henderson, or after 2 days we'll get Jan Gomez of Wolves. You know that kind of thing, people will not complain.
Yeah.
But because you went for that deal and that deal failed, and this is almost a witness that that deal has failed,
Yeah.
still, there is no other deal. If you cannot negotiate that one deal, anyway, I don't blame him. When he came out to tell Liverpool fans, oh, we are waiting for opportunistic signing for a club like Liverpool. Do you know? Does he know what he said? Opportunistic signing for a club like Liverpool. This is
Yeah.
not Brighton.
No.
This is not Brentford. This is not Bournemouth. This
Mm.
is Liverpool Football Club. We lost experienced players, dramatic. Even Van Dijk. Van Dijk looked at the club and Van Dijk saw the way the club is depreciating. And Van Dijk said, we need signing.
Yeah.
Endo, who is a defensive midfielder, is telling you, I can't do this thing by myself. I need a help. Endo is telling us that he needs a help. I can't do this thing. This is a big club for me. I came all the way from Stuttgart. It's hard. Get me a help. We need
Yeah.
a DM. And you sit down and you bring Paramonte and the Bobby Clark and bring them together, send them to US, go and start doing things, and even join them in US. For you to see the level of person you have. So what I think is Liverpool squad good? I just want to assure Liverpool fans, this
Yeah.
squad is good. This squad has challenged for a title last season,
Yeah.
and they can only get better. Because last year, if you look at our midfield, we assembled a new midfield altogether.
Yeah.
Last 2 seasons, Curtis Jones was not getting that game time. It was Henderson, it was Milner, it was Thiago, it
Yeah.
was Fabinho, you
Yes.
know. But last year, God assembled this midfield together. And this midfield took us to that extent, third position. And that was the first season they have played together.
Yeah.
So I think this season, they are now rooted and grounded in their system. They have known each other's game. They can only get better. So Liverpool fans who are saying, "Oh, we are going to finish fourth. We are going to," if this squad can stay fit all throughout the season, we're not going to finish fourth. We're going to finish second. I give you guarantee, or even go as far as winning the league. But injury is something you cannot remove from football.
No, you can't.
You
You can't
cannot remove
predict it. You
injury
can't remove it. It's part and parcel of the game. And like you said
of the
earlier,
game.
we are playing a lot of competitions. We are playing in the Champions
Yes,
League, where it's a new format. So you know we're going to
yes,
play a bit more. I think there's more games involved as well, which is a little bit annoying. So we're playing more games. We've got our squad hasn't increased in terms of numbers. So we
yeah,
have to be very careful in terms of how we manage players. Now, a lot of fans are saying because we were under Jurgen Klopp, he played heavy metal football. So it required more running, more energy. So that's why a lot of players were picking up a lot of injuries. But in football,
mm,
you pick up injuries. Doesn't matter what style of player you play. Like, for example, Diogo Jota, when he gets injuries, it's normally because he's quite aggressive and he gets into little tackles here and there. And then there's like a occurrence where he might have picked up a knock or pulled a muscle or something. So in football, you can't really just predict how your fate is going to be in regards to your health and stuff. People pick up
yes,
injuries
you're right.
here and there. It's very normal. So I feel like this is the time where City don't look the strongest because they've just sold Alvarez. So for me, that's a big loss. So they're a team that I wouldn't say are on decline, but they're not invincible. They they
Yeah,
can they can be overtaken. Arsenal, like you mentioned, they haven't signed the striker. They're still waiting to sign that striker. But they've recruited Calafiori, the player that I wanted at Liverpool. They've signed him. So that player gives them more stability in that defense. So defensively, they're
yeah,
going to
it's
be
true.
great. So if they get one striker, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Like you said, don't want to big up Arsenal too much, but anything is possible, right? So Liverpool will be caught behind. We haven't strengthened, we
Exactly.
haven't added quality. Like you said, last year we had literally took out our old engine and put in a new engine with a
Yeah.
completely new midfield. So obviously, I feel like even us challenging for the title for majority of the season is still a good achievement in regards to the squad because they have now gained valuable experience in terms of title challenges now. So now this
Yeah.
team is more than ready and more than equipped to go again. But you need to add quality. And there's certain things in football where you can have a great squad, but you still got to add players on top to challenge the players. Like Ferguson, I don't want to use our rival as an example, but Ferguson, he would always sign a top player every summer just to keep people on their toes because some players get complacent with success. We
Yeah.
obviously
It's
we've
true.
been successful, but with this new squad, you need to bring someone and then kind of re-energize the squad. Like, oh, do you know what? We just signed Bastoni. We just signed Varela. We just signed, I don't know, someone else for the right wing. Like that will excite the squad. And
Yes.
another concern as well, if we don't sign anyone, that will show a lack of ambition from the club. And that is a concern for three players in our team: Van Dijk,
Exactly.
Trent, and Mohamed Salah, because they are in the last year of their contract. If they see that the club are not ambitious and it doesn't meet their way of playing football or their ambitions as well, they will leave. And they are free to leave from January because they are allowed to negotiate pre-agreement contracts with clubs abroad.
Yes.
So that is a
Yeah.
big concern. So this whole, some fans are saying, we've got the squad, we're doing fine. We have a great first 11, we have a good bench, but we need more players just to make sure
Quality.
that we are well equipped for all competitions. Because there's
Yes.
been times we've gone for the quad. On a couple of occasions, we've just fallen short. Imagine if we had those 2, 3 extra players, we might have done it. We might have been the first team
Yeah.
to ever have done it. But our owners always lack ambition. For them, it's all about making extra revenue for their own pockets. It's never about
Yeah.
reinvesting into the team. They've never shown ambitions. And for us, that Caicedo deal, this is why I didn't do any shows or content regarding Zubimendi until that deal fell through because I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen just because of
Yeah.
our track record. That Caicedo deal, I still have PTSD because for me, I still get nightmares about it. That deal, it it gave everyone a lift, and within 12 hours, not even 24 hours, 12 hours, it was cancelled. And the same thing happened with the
Yeah.
Lavia deal as well.
Yeah.
It
You're
was
right.
ridiculous. So for me, if we don't sign players, it's going to have a domino effect where it doesn't matter how talented our squad is right now. Even if we are challenging, it just shows that these guys don't want to add more players. They don't want to invest in the squad. They don't believe in the players. And Van Dijk, Salah, they're in their early 30s right now. They might think, you know what? I can go to another European club, or I can head to Saudi, get my big paycheck before I retire. They're entitled to
Yeah.
do that. They're not they're not loyal to the club in that manner, if that makes sense. We're Liverpool fans, so we have a little bit more loyalty to our club. But they're players,
Yes.
they are employees of Liverpool, so they can go on and do what they want. So for me, it's I'm worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I am quite worried in terms of what we're doing in the transfer market. But look, in terms of our performance today, good performance. Really pleased with the win. But like you said, it's our first game of the season, so I'm not expecting heavy metal football where scoring 10 goals or whatnot. It's always going to be
Yeah.
where you take your time, find your rhythm, and then eventually we did that in the second half. And obviously it was a midday kickoff, so that's not always ideal in terms of setting up a team because you have less training time and you're not able to talk tactics as much as you would do when it's normally a 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. So for me, I guess we have to remain patient in terms of the transfer window, but who knows? But back Liverpool, I appreciate you coming on, appreciate your time. I'm sure we'll
Oh,
speak
thank you
again
very
very
much.
soon. Um, Hopefully next week we have a lot more positive to discuss in terms of possible incomings. But yes, thank you again for coming on the show. Really appreciate your time.
Ozzy, I would have loved you to be the sporting director, but anyway,
I wish, man. That's my dream job. I would do a lot more
yeah,
than just
you can. I
negotiating.
think if you are the sporting director, oh my goodness! By now, I should be celebrating the league.
We can
Thank
dream,
you
my
very
friend.
much.
We can dream. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Take care. Have a good evening. So yeah, Bat Liverpool there. Big up to Bat Liverpool. Speaking facts, he's not saying anything wrong with regards to the club right now. We're a club where, unfortunately, we're not showing ambition as a club. It's very frustrating to be at a club where we're supposed to be big Liverpool. We're supposed to be, last year we were the most watched team in England. In terms of the world, we were like the number 6 in the leagues in terms of watch team in the world. So we have a huge fan base from all over the world. We're a well supported team. But our owners don't act like big boy owners. They don't act like ambitious owners that want to win. For them, it's about balancing the finances and getting extra revenue if possible through fringe players. It's that money ball tactic. It works, but you've got to invest money into the squad as well, and that's the frustrating part for me. So hearing that Joe Gomez news today, I don't know if there's been any further development. I haven't been on social media since the game, but I'm concerned. That is not the player that I would have wanted to have sold. I would have liked for us to have kept Joe Gomez and then sign another player that can play left back and centre back. My concern is that we sell Joe Gomez and then Vandenberg takes his place in the squad, which is unacceptable. Like Liverpool said, you should always have an extra defender in your squad to be that versatile defender. And we had that in Joe Gomez. Last season, we had 9 defenders. We had Matip as one of our centre backs, and Joe Gomez was regarded as 5th choice, but he occupied all these different roles. So for me, selling him makes no sense. Obviously, you've got one less player in terms of the homegrown quota. I'm sure we've got enough players to make up the numbers, I guess. But in terms of the squad, we're missing out on someone that's got great experience. For us, he's been at the club since he was 18. From his personal point of view, I guess it's probably time for him to move on and get first team football. If that's not what he's going to get at Liverpool. But I feel like Arne Slot, they could have just, and the coaches or sporting director, because that is his responsibility as well. It's not just signing players from abroad or external transfers, it's internal as well. He needs to make sure the players are happy, they've got the right contracts, and they're willing to play for the club. Right now, Richard Hughes, for me, yeah, the clock is ticking on him. He's on forward watch for me right now because he's been appointed because his good old friend Michael Edwards got reappointed. So he got his friend a job. He's like, why not come work with me? Got the other guy as well, Julian Ward. Why not come back? Let's bring the band back. And right now, I have no confidence that this club will sign players, and that is such a worry. Even Man City, when they've won league titles every year, they still sign players. They don't just rest on their laurels and be like, you know what? We won the league. We won the treble not so long ago. For me, why do we need to sign more players on top? That's the big concern for me for Liverpool Football Club. So slightly concerning times the 17th. We've got 2 weeks left of the transfer window. I'm hoping we get some news, but we'll never know. Just got someone that's joined the show, Liverpool 12th man.
Big up.
Big up, Liverpool 12th man. How you doing, sir?
Good. Making the rounds, I guess you could say, because I saw that you're alive, and I just got done with Fozzie's show, so it's just like, oh shoot, let me go say what's up to Ozzy.
Yeah, what's up, man? Long time.
Yeah, long time, but definitely always blessings to see you, brother.
Appreciate you as always. Appreciate you as always.
How are you doing today after that W?
All good. I was pleased with the performance. I was a bit disturbed by the Joe Gomez news before the game.
Yeah.
Because that took me back. I wasn't expecting to hear that because I know there's been some sort of inklings in terms of him possibly leaving the club.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think they'd be open to offers. It's crazy. And obviously not us being linked with any players is a concern. But in terms of the game, slow start, but it's kind of expected. It's the first game of the season. I'm not expecting us to be playing 100 miles per hour. It's
Mm-hmm.
a game where you got to find your rhythm. Plus, we're not at home, we're at away. The crowd, as you can probably see in the TV, they were electric. They were really up for
They
it.
were.
And sharing the crowd, vibing as well. Departing at halftime because he had a gig. I think he was in Europe somewhere. So it was very good for them in terms of returning to the Premier League after 22 years. So they were up for it. So it was always going to be an atmosphere where we had to kind of bide our time. The crowd was very close to the pitch. It was a very small pitch in comparison to other stadiums. So for me, first half, didn't find our rhythm, couldn't really control the game. Second half, much better. We just found a gear, started playing quick and slick passes around the pitch. And it was good to see Jota on the score sheet. Salah as well probably didn't have the best of afternoons in terms of one-on-one with the left back. I think his name was Davis. But
I agree with that.
He's all about end product. He gets the goal. He got the assist as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pleased in the end. I'm very intrigued and I'm very encouraged by this new coach because it's not what we're used to seeing in terms of Jurgen Klopp. It's not heavy metal football, but I still like the brand of football that he's trying to put into this team because it's high possession football. It's very easy on the eye, and I feel like Liverpool fans are expected to be like Klopp. It's not going to be like Klopp's kind of football. We have to accept that this is a new era. It's going to be a new brand of football. But so far, I mean, I'm excited and I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. How about yourself? What have you thought of Arne Slot's new era as coach?
So I was fortunate enough to get a look at the Slot era up close by the preseason tour here in America. But I was very optimistic that we will get some results, considering that just what you said. It's like, I think sometimes when we get into this train of thinking of Klopp's system is this, and and the 6 has to be a destroyer, or it has to be this, or it has to be that. That was that era of Liverpool. This is now a new era of Liverpool, and it's an adaptation from some of those certain great foundational roots that we have from Klopp setting those roots. But we're creating new branches now. We're, you know what I mean? Like, this tree is creating new branches, and I'm excited to see what it blooms. And I can't tell you enough about how, like, I think that this team will not only compete, I think we will contend this year, simply because this has the potential of being a very exciting team. It says a lot when you have a great right back, left back, center back in Joe Gomez, as you spoke of earlier. That is, unfortunately, he is the 4th choice when it comes to center backs. Unfortunately, he is the 3rd choice when it comes to left backs. Unfortunately, he is the 3rd choice when it comes to right back. And this is Joey G. I love Joey G. You're not meeting a bigger supporter of Joey G than myself, probably. And I recognize that, and as much as I would love to have his versatility on this team so that we can have a player that can fill in for unlikely or I should say unlikely, but certainly an unwanted, injury. I still recognize the fact that you look at the lineup, you look at the lineup on the bench here. Let me pull up the bench here. We had Ibu, Bradley, Tsimikas, Cody, Kelleher, Elliott, Curtis, Watoro, and Darwin. There's no room on that bench for Joey. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of it. So do I want to see Joey not get called up for games? Heck no. Do I want to see him just for like cup games? No, I don't want to see that either. I want to see Joey be happy and Joey get his opportunity to play, and continue with his career. But I don't want to give Joey away for bargain basement prices. Joey's a phenomenal center back, right back, left back, and he could start in those positions for a lot of the teams in the Premier League right now. And if that's the case, you got to pay for it. And I'm not going for a cheap. Oh well, we need to just sell this to sell.
Because I'm hearing the fees of around 45 million. Do you think that's acceptable for Joe Gomez?
I was thinking 60.
Yeah, same. I was thinking a lot more as well. I don't think 45 is
45 is a deal. That's a
Yeah,
steal of a
that
deal.
is a skill. Yeah, because you got a player like you said who can cover all those positions, but at a very good level. It's not
Yeah.
that he can just do a good job there. He will
Mhm.
play at left back for the whole season
Right.
and do it at a very high standard. That
Right.
is the kind of caliber of player you have. So, do you think we will sign a player or a centre back? Because currently, like you said, Joe Gomez is fourth choice. Do you
Mhm.
think we'll sign a centre back if he is sold?
I think that we will sign a. I think we will sign obviously a player, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to be a center back. I think it's more likely to be a center back if it is Joey going out the door.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I don't want to go into the year thinking that we're going to hold on to a Sepp Vandenberg or something like that being that fourth choice. Not that Sepp can't be that fourth choice, but he doesn't want to be that fourth choice either. So it's difficult to find a player that is going to bring in that kind of level. I've been on the I guess the committee for Bastoni. Okay.
That's my guy,
That's
man.
why
That's
I'm
the
on the
number one
Bastoni
target.
committee to try to get that approved. I'm also on the Kubo committee as well, as try to get that approved.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to hear back from Edwards on that one, and Mr. Hughes, but we're waiting to see. And yeah, I'm not about just signing a player just to sign a player.
Agreed.
That's the biggest thing I'm not about. Like, as I know a lot of the panels, a lot of the interaction in the chats that I've been a part of have been all about, oh, we haven't signed a player, oh, we need to sign a player, oh, we need to sign a player. And I'm like, I'm not saying that we don't need to sign a player. I'm saying we don't have to sign a player.
Yeah.
In that, if you don't have to sign a player just for the likes of signing a player.
Yeah.
If the right player is not available, guess what? I don't want to have that player on our team. What does that do for us?
Yeah.
It just makes a bigger log jam. It possibly, bloats the salary wages that much more, and again, it's about having a player that really can contribute. And unless it's a name that moves the needle, I don't know if there's that many players out there that are going to be in that category that are available. Because you got to recognize that they got to want to come here. I hear a lot of people doing the whole Zubamendi thing and the whole nine. I'm like, Zubamendi made that choice.
Yeah.
We would have paid them. We had the money. We offered them more money than Real Sociedad. We ended up. We said we would trigger the release clause, if not pay more than a release clause. And people with their narratives and their agendas continue to say, oh well, they couldn't get this done deal and they couldn't do that. Yeah, that's because Zubamendi is not a fixture on a video game. He's a real person.
Yeah.
He has family, he has connections, roots, he's a Basque player, which is huge. And all those things said, we're hoping, at least I'm hoping, that we see the same loyalty in Trent. Because Trent can go to big lights in big city by going to Madrid very easily. If he wants to.
No,
and
you're right.
And if that occurred, then would everyone be like, oh, it's okay. No, they're going to make a big stink about it because he didn't choose Liverpool. And then you have to say to yourself, why is there two narratives that you pick and choose when to, support? That's at least
that's a fair point. I think with the Zubamendi deal, the frustration for me was he's a player that's got a history of rejecting clubs. So he's clearly got a loyalty to his club, and that's his hometown club. He's from the city. It's like for some players, that is the dream. Like it is for Trent as well. His dream was to play for Liverpool and be the captain. So for him, that's why he's there as well. So for me, it's like, shouldn't we have done our research to realize that this guy, even if he found our project appealing, would he actually make the move to come to Liverpool? Because the concern I have with our fan base sometimes is that we love our club. So if we show interest to a player, just because we're Liverpool, we're expecting that player to just come to us.
Yep.
That's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
You have to do your research to make sure that this player has an interest of leaving where he's from, and he actually wants to move countries as well. Because, for example, there's a lot of players in certain countries that wouldn't come to England just due to lifestyle, weather, all kinds of factors.
Yeah, culturally based. You know, some players won't come here
the
because
language.
of the
They're like,
language.
my missus might not want, because that was a rumor as well that apparently Zubimendi's missus didn't want to come to England. So
right.
It's like you said, it's not a video game. You're not just gonna sign players because you match the fee. You have to do your research and take these factors into consideration. I don't feel like Richard Hughes or Michael Edwards did that to an extent. I think they sold the project to him really well, but they should have seen the history where it's not even just him rejecting foreign clubs. He rejected Barcelona as well. So for me, it's like it's not just about him staying in Spain. He just didn't want to leave where he's from. So for me, it's pie on our face because obviously we went that extra mile and we're thinking, oh, we're going to get this player, and it hasn't worked out. But my concern is that it feels like it was Zubimendi or nothing. And I know.
Can I just cut across you just one quick second? I don't think it was Zubimendi, simply Zubimendi or nothing, because I think that what it was is Zubimendi is a certainly a added asset to this team if we were to get him. I'm not going to be one of those guys that all of a sudden, just because you don't get the player, you start like, you know, talking trash and being like, oh, he was never good and he was never this, he's never that. You know, that's not the case. Talented player, would have made a real addition to this team. However, then you look at the rest of the market and you say to yourself, I see what we had in-house. And is that worth me going out and saying, I want whatever is on the other side of that fence? And so often, that's what so many fans do. They don't recognize the players that we do have that are exceptional players, but maybe because they don't have, like, you know, like if it came to Elliot, if his name is Elliot Nino, you know, from Brazil, all of a sudden you'd be like, Elliot's the truth, you know? But I mean, like, because it's not the case, and because, you know, he's a Liverpool player and then likes, and because, like, you know, we've seen him since he's been, 19 years old or something like that, you know, because he's been that kind of player, we don't automatically go, oh, we have possibly a gem, a real gem here. We have some incredible players. It's the reason why our youth academy shines so well. It's the reason why the players that they were filling in for, whether because of injury or not, why those players are exceptional in their own rights. And it's the reason why a Joe Gomez, like we said earlier, is a fourth choice as a center back. It's the reason why he's a third choice for right back or left back. And we just said he could start on teams, you know. If we're just looking at the sixth role, I understand, you know. And again, I'm making this very, very. I already got called as being Grava's agent, and Grava, if that's the case, hey, holler. But you know, but I will say that Gravenberch, I've been saying Gravenberch could be a quality six for us since Matip got injured last year. And it sounds wild, but I've said it because, one, he played the six with Ajax, albeit in a pivot. He never really got the opportunity, never really was going to get the opportunity, because Bayern Munich is that kind of stubborn team that if you don't fit their role or fit their methods, and especially if you're not German, you're probably not getting that opportunity, right? So we got a true gem in Gravenberch, I thought, and it was just a matter of giving that opportunity. There was something in him that we saw, and there's certainly something that I see, and that is an athletic player that is going to be able to bring us pace, that's going to be able to do the job, understands what it takes to play that role. And on top of that, you put a Gravenberch next to a Dominic Szoboszlai. Guess what? All of a sudden, you have two very athletic and very capable in getting recoveries, in being able to progressively carry the ball forward. All these characteristics that you're looking for, this hybrid six that we want. And that shines, to me, brighter than an Ederson. Shines brighter than Koopmeiners, who doesn't even play that role of being a six. Okay? It's shine, and I get they'll say, oh, well, Koopmeiners played it in the Dutch league and the likes. And I understand that you could say that, but he's playing at Atalanta, and the reason why everyone is claiming or trying to get him on the team. It wasn't because of his plays at 6. It's because of his plays in 8, you know? So Coop Miners isn't the guy for me personally. Yeah. But I mean, even if you continue to go down that line, you know, it could be, I'm trying to think of some of the other choices on that list. You know, you go through Andre or something like that. All these other players, I think personally, don't have what we have already. And it will block a possibly one of the few pathways to starting or getting time in this team for a very talented player, because he's not starting it. Gravenberch's not playing 10 for us. Gravenberch's not he's not playing on the front line for us. Yeah. And he's not playing on the back line. So where do you put Gravenberch, people?
Yeah.
Where do you put him?
I used to get annoyed when people say he could play as a 10. He's never played as a 10 in his whole career.
So I don't know, in his life.
I don't know why people used to say that, but because when Arne Slot was appointed, I analyzed the squad and I said to everyone that he needs to play in a double pivot, because I saw in Ajax do play 4-3-3, but there's been games where he's had to play double pivot. I know for Netherlands, I think he did the under 21s just before we signed him. He played in a single pivot as well.
He did.
So he's more than capable of playing both roles. Yes, he's not a bona fide number 6, aka destroyer or anything like that.
But we don't need that.
But we don't need that, like you said, because it's not Klopp ball anymore. This is slot ball. So it's different tactics, different methods, different way of playing. So
see, this is why you got to tune in, subscribe. You got to hit that like button. Ozzy's spitting the truth here for you, people. He's telling you the straight facts.
Yeah, and this is the problem as well, because with transfer targets, for example, we've still got that motion that it needs to be destroyed. And I'm not gonna lie, I was guilty of that, because I really wanted us to sign Fofana from Monaco.
That's a shot.
Because I feel like he had a bit more to his game. He wasn't just a destroyer. He was someone that can do box to box, because he was signed as a Tchouaméni replacement. That is the guy we all wanted, right, at one point. So I thought he would have been a good addition. But looking at the way we played in preseason, I'm like, do you know what? He might not fit the bill. We need a bit more of a deep playmaker that controls the game and sets the tone from the back, and obviously protects the back four. And then if we've got a double pivot, they cover the fullbacks when they bomb forward as well. Because one thing that I liked about Trent's performance today, he was bombing down that right side. I loved it. That's what I want to see Trent doing. I don't want him seeing inverted. On some occasions, it's good if you're
mix it up.
Yeah, mix it up where the opposition is really compact and it's congested and you've got to thread the through ball. But when he was doing even that cross that he did for that Jota header.
Oh, I thought he was going to score that. I thought he was going to score that.
He confused that fullback. That fullback went that way and then he just went that way and just crossed it. Like, that's
which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Where did he go? And I agree. I think Jota should have scored that one, but I don't know. I think fans are feeling.
Are you saying Diego has no end product?
Oh no,
I'm joking. I'm only joking. That's just because that's the Lucho narrative. No end product. He didn't score. Oh my gosh.
Talk to me about Lucho, because for me, I feel like I'm the only one that likes Lucho.
No, bro. Hey, wait, here you go. Boom. There you go. I definitely am a Lucho fan for sure.
Good, because I'm not on this Anthony Gordon train. Like, people
are
really hyping it. And what's going to frustrate me now? Watch tomorrow. Everyone's going to link him even further and say, "Oh, we need to get him." And look, he's got decent pace, but for me, I don't actually feel like he's got end product. There was a game that we played against him last year against Newcastle. He got past Trent quite a few times, but he couldn't cross the ball. He couldn't find the player. So
you're right about that. You're right about that. That was the one where Trent threw the ball at him because he got fouled. He got fouled and he got pushed over once across. Yeah, I remember that
game. So I'm like, I've seen him play against us. Even for Everton, he had no end product. So I don't know. I think because he did that interview with Gary Neville, the overlap, where he was speaking about his sort of methodology that he analyzes his game like in his dreams, or I don't know, some nonsense like that. But he was basically trying to he like meditates and like he makes sure.
There's some Dr. Drew stuff there. I don't know where he goes.
Like, it was a bit nuts for me. But because I think he was talking about that, and then we found out that he's a boyhood red as well. So I think that just ticked everyone's boxes, and they're like, you know, we need to get this guy in. But he's not an upgrade to Luis Diaz in no shape or form. So I'm getting really frustrated in the fact that people are saying Luis Diaz needs to be sold. And yes, he wasn't clinical today. Don't get me wrong, but it's our first day of the season. Relax.
Yeah.
Like, I know he scored 2 goals last week, but
he was clinical then. He was clinical then. I mean,
it happens. For me,
happens, people.
The concern is when he's not making those runs and he's not getting past the fullback or he's not creating opportunities. That's the
Tell the
concern.
people in the back. Tell the people in the back then. Tell the people, I don't think they can hear it. I don't think they can hear you.
Put the mic a bit closer. Can you guys hear me? Like,
yeah. You hear the words coming out my mouth?
Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes us fans, we expect the perfect performance from our players, especially from our attackers, but it doesn't work like that. You've got to respect the opposition because Ipswich, you know, they play neat football. I know they've got a reputation from Championship.
Great coach, though. They got a really, really talented coach.
They got a really talented coach, but they didn't really come to play like that. They were playing on the counter attack. That's why they got a lot of success in the first half. As soon as we got the grip of the game and we were more control in the second half, we were able to produce our slick passing.
Absolutely.
And
night and day difference.
Level.
Yeah. What do they call it? Cheese? They call it over in England cheese and chalk, right, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. So it was a different level from what we produced. So, how are you feeling about this rumors? Because it's annoying me, and I feel like I have to mention it every week because the rumors keep increasing and the noise gets louder. Oh, Gordon's the truth, and I think even Jamie Carragher did a podcast and said that we need to sign him. I'm like,
yeah.
We've got 2 left wingers in Gakpo and Diaz, who can all be alternated throughout the season. We don't really need anyone there. And if required, Nunes can do a job if we need to put someone on the left. But you know,
or even Cody could do the job on the left.
Exactly. We've got so many players. Jota, everyone. There's a lot of players that can do a job on that left.
Right.
Even Jones used to play there for the youth days, where he used to play on the left on occasions as well.
OZZIE'S played on the left for us. You know, like he played in the League Cup game. He played on the left wing for us.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I'm finding the frustration. But how do you feel about it? Because I think we both know there's a player there, and I feel like we saw a glimpse of how he played against Sevilla. I know it's pre-season, but for me, it's just small details that he needs to work on in terms of his finishing when he cuts in from the left wing. It's just finding that measured shot and finding, you know, when you're playing, well, I don't play golf, but you know, in golf, you have different clubs. He just needs to find that right club for certain shots.
The right iron. Yeah.
That's what he's trying to kind of figure out. I feel like once he gets that, he'll be scoring an abundance of goals. So how do you feel about this whole rumors surrounding Diaz? Do you expect him to stay? Because I do, but I feel like there's a lot of noise. How do you feel about the whole Lucho news right now?
I'll say this much. When it comes to our players, it's something that I've been trying to emphasize with our own fan base, because so often our fan base is so ready to, you know, bun players that we have amongst our club. And then not only just like get rid of these players, but they end up like trying to sell them at bargain basement prices. Yeah. And it's like one of those cases where I'm just like, you know, it's too often than not, I think that we are doing a disservice by like allowing for those narratives to kind of like tip, you know, or push the needle in one direction or the other, or the compass in one way or the other. Because realistically, you know, I get when rivals try to undersell or underplay our players. I get when even NPC football clubs, I call them NPCs because, you know, it is what it is, you know. But I get when they even try to like come in and say like, you know, take some chest out and try to like put down our club and our players, because, you know, it's called it's a little bit of jealousy, you know, or you know, or vanity, I guess, or something to that extent. But one thing I can really, again, emphasize more so than not is that these players that we have are exceptional players. And I'm not for just selling a player just to sell a player. I'm not for buying a player just to buy a player on equal measures. And that means if we have an evaluation of Diaz at 75 million, there's a reason for that. I'm not saying that he's a 75 million pound player, but what I am saying is that the market, when you look at it, dictates that if Gordon, who you were just talking about, could be rated by 100 million as a 100 million pound player by Newcastle. You've got to tell me that I can honestly say that Diaz is worth 75 million at least. Okay, at least, because there's no way we're saying he's worth 50 or 40 or whatever range you want to get into, and saying that Gordon is that much more of a better player than him. And that's why I'm getting at it. If that's their evaluation and that's what they're sticking with, cool. Have your evaluation. Be able to set the tone for what you can get for your players, and don't get desperate out there, people. And you look at the Real Madrids out there, there's a reason why they can speak with chess when it comes to whether they want to get rid of a player or they want to go in for a player. And that's because they understand their value. I would love for more Reds to understand the value of this team and this club in general. You might have a problem with the ownership, might have a problem with the backroom staff, might have a problem with the coach, might have a problem with the players again. But putting all that aside for one moment, take a step back and breathe and understand the fact that these players are talented players, and we have to work within the confines of the market and make the most of it. And if we have that confidence, we can make a real difference in getting some big name talent that come through the door, or do what we always do, and that is find those gems and continue to create, to make diamonds out of coal, in essence.
Yeah. No, I echo everything you said there. That's the thing. I feel like sometimes we have to appreciate the club we are, and we have to be patient with our signings, because, like I said, Real Madrid is a great example. They will patiently wait a year or two to get a player for a certain fee. Like Mbappe, they've been waiting for years.
Don't go as far as to tell a player, hey, sit out and just write out your contract.
Yeah,
that is where I would like to be with Liverpool.
Straight.
Right, we can start saying to players, sorry to go across.
No,
just to be in a place where we can start saying to players, you know what? Yeah, Musiala, sit tight in Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
everything will be all cool. We're here for you when you're done your contract.
Yeah,
that's where I would like to be with our club and our team. Not worrying about like, we need to spend 100 and whatever Bayern Munich's inflated valuation of Musiala is on the last year that he doesn't want to sign a contract with them, but the last year or two or whatever he has left with them, rather than be desperate, come in like a Don, people. We only go for dimes and work like a Don, That's so how I look at Liverpool.
Because look at the way we target players as well. We don't seem to have like a long list of targets. We've analyzed a particular player. That's the one we want. But sometimes I don't feel like we move like a big club. That's the frustrating thing for me. I feel like the owners, and I don't want to speak too heavy on us, but I feel like we just lack that ambition as a club sometimes. And when we've been on top, when we've won the Champions League, we've won the Premier League.
That was a stumble. I admit that was a little bit of a like not resting on our laurels the way we did after winning.
Because I feel like you look at the past history, you look at teams like United, where when they've won the league, they always sign a top player just to keep everyone on their toes and kind of lift the squad. That there's a new guy coming in. Oh, he's come from this club. He's really good. It re-energizes the squad as well as the fan base. And I feel like the annoying thing that I get from Liverpool fans every summer is that United are always buying players left, right, and center. Right?
I was going to say, where's that gotten United, my friend? Where's that gotten United?
Yeah, because they're just buying players for the sake of buying players. There's no strategy. There's no they don't even know why they're buying that player. They don't even know where they're playing him. So that's the annoyance I get with certain fans, where they get frustrated because United are signing players. Why are we not signing players? Like, stop watching.
We're not United. We're not even on one. We're not even in the same room with United when it comes to like they're still outside fighting with the bouncer to get in the club. Okay, they're not inside.
It's true. They've got money management issues. They don't know how to manage their money. So let them spend. Let them do what they're doing. Watch what you're doing. You know how to spend your money, so you do it in a focused way. And that's how Liverpool are. Liverpool will have certain targets in order to be added to the squad. But obviously the frustration is that we ain't signing anyone. So I understand that frustration, but at the same time, it has to be the right players as well. And I'm not asking for players that are worth 80 million. You know, we get extorted for all these big prices. There's a lot of players out there that I feel like could do a job. Like for the number 6 role, I would like OZWRLD to come in. I think he will fit the way we play. And the centre back, I'm on your committee as well. I would love to sign Bastoni. I don't know if it's realistic or not, but that is the guy that would literally transform our defense. And right wing, because that's the area I feel like we need to strengthen. I would have said Elise, but obviously he's gone to Bayern now. So I don't, and I know Kudus is a good option, but he'd cost an arm and a leg. So
exactly.
And I don't want to just get someone like a Bakayoko from PSV because I don't know if he's quite at that level. If that makes sense, I'd want to see him.
I'll rate him like that.
I'd want to see him another season to see if he's the truth. Right now, it's a bit up in the air. So for me, I feel like the fan base needs to be patient. I get it. We're not signing anyone, so you feel a bit annoyed, like, oh, they're signing these players here and there. But look at our squad. Our squad is actually in a good position. We're not that bad of a team. It wasn't like last year where we had Fabinho, Henderson that unfortunately were coming to the end of their time at the club. Obviously, we were able to appoint, I think, some good midfielders. Gravenberch, I've been screaming that guy's name for a few years before he even got signed to Liverpool. I thought he would have fit our system perfectly. So I'm glad he's getting that opportunity now because I feel like he was getting disrespected in the summer where no one gave him a chance. And you know that as well, because you've probably seen other content creators say the same thing. Right, and it's like, you haven't seen him playing that role. And having a Dutch coach obviously helps because
absolutely
the methodology is the same thing. The way they play football in the country, it's the same thing. So for me, it's very, very important in terms of how we go around with signing players. I'm just hoping we make some additions. If Joe Gomez leaves, we have to sign someone. Who it is, I think
if Joe Gomez leaves, then we'll have a nest egg of over 100 million some odd pounds, because we've already gotten about 30 or 40 million from the 27, and I think the other and then we sold Bobby Clark for another like 10 or 12 or something like that. So like you're looking at a good bit of change. Like around, I'd say I don't know off the top of my head what the number is, but I think it's over 40 million at least. That's a good bit of change, and that good bit of change could be like, okay, that's extra to the kitty. Yeah. So if there was anything, if we had 51 million without those sales, then yeah, let's go in and say we can go to an Inter and say, hey, here's 65 million pounds.
Yeah,
I know you're in financial straits, like this could help. And maybe Bastoni makes the move. Or if it's not Bastoni, then, I also, again, I don't want to put obstacles in front of players that I think could fill those roles. I don't want to put too many obstacles in front of Konate or Kwanzaa. I think they're both phenomenal players in their own attributes. And if it means, okay, now you got 40, 60 million, well then, hey, maybe take that money and put it towards the wage bill to re-sign Trent. Obviously, a big deal. Re-sign an extension of 2 years on top of the year that you have left on DVD. Re-sign an additional 2 years, once again, on top of Salah's deal, who I think you could. And people might say, oh, well, then you're giving them 3 years. You think they're already at 32 or 33 years old, do you want a 35, 36-year-old VVD? It doesn't mean that he goes all the way through to those 3 years. Okay. Yeah. But what it does mean is that we now have at least a little bit of flexibility to say, if you do want the services of BBD, you'll have to pay for it.
Yes.
And that's once again, not bargain basement prices. People, I don't mind. I love thrift shopping all like everyone possibly. Okay. Believe me, like going thrift shopping, finding those gems and jewels and seeing like some old Wu-Tang record that no one knew about or something like that. I'm all for it. But let me repeat this. You have to understand that we are not a bargain basement seller.
No.
That's the difference we got to make. We got to recognize the fact we have talent on this team. There's reasons why we contended. If we could just stay healthy, we can make a serious difference in this club. And staying healthy is a possibility, considering that the mentality of control as opposed to the blitzkrieg style, heavy metal, high intensity style football that we're seeing through Klopp. Maybe we get fortunate to have less injuries and we have players more readily available this year. And hey, who knows? We'll go from there, because there's no assurance that other teams will get injuries themselves.
No, that's a fair point. That's why I'm intrigued about Arne Slot in terms of his way of playing, because it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I still like it's very easy on you. I like the way it's all about high position and kill them with passes. That's his famous line from a training session, that kill the opposition passes. It's a new way of playing. So just because it's a new way doesn't mean it's not the right way. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, there's different ways of playing football. So for me, I feel like it's an exciting time to be a Liverpool fan. Obviously, the transfer part is probably a bit frustrating for a lot of us, but at the same time, we should be optimistic about the season. We should feel encouraged with what's going to happen. I've got a few comments here, so we can read it through together. So Stu Max says, finally finished with the EPL. Klopp and Pep made it worth watching for a few years, but back to absolute Josh once again.
Oh, Stu.
I wouldn't agree with that, Stu. I think from a Liverpool point of view, the football isn't heavy metal football. Yes, I agree. But I feel like, do you know what it is? I feel like once we start playing the big teams and we get victories over those big teams, then people will believe in what Arne Slot is trying to do. I feel like that's what sways a lot of people sometimes, where, it's only Ipswich Town. Like, that's not going to be a
I knew that excuse was going to come up too. Yeah, I knew that excuse was going to come up. It's only Ipswich Town. So, Ipswich Town playing a home game in their Premier League preview, or, announcement, curtain raiser. Yeah. You think that stadium was electric. That stadium's not an easy stadium to play in. Also, something that was noted by I forget what there was a correspondent that mentioned about how Ipswich did something that it wasn't as dirty as, like, Manchester City letting the grass grow like higher than they need to, so that it slows the ball down a little bit. What they did was they kept the pitch a little bit drier than they normally do, so the ball wasn't. So a lot of times the ball was landing and progressing forward differently than normally it does on, obviously, a pitch that is properly watered. So that's just something. I know that sounds weird, and also the fact that Ipswich is a small grounds, as in, like, it's not easy to get into to go to these small stadiums in comparison to, like, an Anfield or Emirates or an Etihad or something like that, which are huge. It's a difference, and it's why I think that Ipswich is going to do a lot of what Luton did last year. I think they're going to really surprise a couple of teams, thinking that teams are going to thinking, we're just going to walk over it. It's only Ipswich. It's only a newly promoted team. No, it's not going to be easy, because those fans are going to be excited to see this, whether it's the first and last time they'll get this opportunity for a while. And I think that they're going to be surprised when Ipswich comes out and tries to play for again, a coach that has a good system.
Yeah, I think the comparison to Luton Town is a good one. I think they've actually recruited quite well as well. So I feel like they're already well equipped in comparison to Luton, where they weren't able to make a lot of quality additions in the summer. So I feel like this team might surprise a lot of teams. I think the way they play today, if you continue to play like that in away games or even home games and such, I think they'll have a good season. I think they might even avoid the drop. But it's about
tough running. They got City next.
At
the Etihad. It's not like the Premier League did not say, "Hey, let me give you two layups."
They're getting the hard treatment right away. Stu Mac also said English propaganda league back to polishing turds. Yeah, he's not impressed today. White English tax is a thing. Average duffers, Maguire, Shaw, Chilwell, Rice, Gordon. If they were Irish, none would break 40 million. And his final comment is, United hold himself around the globe. They only had Wenger and Mourinho as rivals. They fell asleep at the wheel, just like Chelsea. So yeah, that's just a few comments there from Stu. But I think from a Liverpool point of view, I think fans just need to be patient in terms of how Arne Slot plays his new tactic. I think as Liverpool fans, we are normally quite patient in terms of having a new manager and allowing him to present his philosophy to the squad and see how it sort of is unleashed throughout the season. Because right now the signs are good. Mostly consistency is going to be key, and playing high level opposition will be the big difference as well going forward, I think.
I'm only laughing because I'm saying I heard you put the word patience and Liverpool fan base in the same sentence. I was like, okay. Yeah.
I'm trying. I'll say that is Liverpool fans off social media, not on social media, because the social media ones, yeah, they're a different breed. So that doesn't go hand in hand, not at all. But yeah, I'm excited about the season. I'm excited for what Arne Slot has, and hopefully we get some additions by the end of the window. We've got 2 weeks left, so yeah, fingers crossed we get that done. But Liverpool 12th man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on as always. We will be doing a lot more content throughout the season.
Please do, bro. Just reach out and tell me when. Like, I have you on. The reason why I knew that you were on is because I have you on my notification. But if you're out there, please do subscribe and definitely make sure that notification bell is on for all these channels out here, especially OZZIE'S as well, because like I said earlier, this guy does really come with like some straight facts, and it's not agenda driven. I know a lot of people have these set notions that like they're not. I get we could all say, oh, we all have agendas in our own way, but I mean, like, you know, we try to be as grounded as possible when it comes to a lot of our assessments. I think OZZIE'S excellent at doing that. You know, even though we don't have the same opinion on everything, I don't expect that. You know, so the conversation is always a good one when it comes to, you know, engaging with OZZIE, and I hope that you guys continue to support him and others in the community. So
yeah, likewise. Please, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to Liverpool 12th man. He does a lot of content, Liverpool related, but also Premier League related as well. He loves to talk about football. His ball knowledge, trust me, is top tier. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to his channel. He will be on this channel plenty more times,
and vice versa too. Hopefully, OZZIE. I know OZZIE'S. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm hoping that you get an opportunity. Like, because I know that a lot of times we try to get you on, and you're like, oh, I can't come because like it's too late.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try and free up the diary and make sure I'm on a lot more shows and trying to get you guys on as well. For me, it's just trying to build a community. And obviously,
you're too busy. You're too busy trying to build up your FC team. That's why.
you know what?
Bring trophies that way. I got you.
You know what? I was contemplating, should I get the pre-order? But I was thinking, I'm not willing to spend £90 on the pre-order because it comes out on the 20th.
That's how much it costs. That's what they're doing these days. 90 pounds.
Yeah, I'm not for that. So wow. I feel like I'll wait for the official launch there, and then do some FC 25 content. But yeah, I didn't get much luck last year. Last year was a bit of a. I hadn't played FS24 that much, so I feel like maybe I need to practice my game a little bit and then put it on show rather than, you know, treat the live streams like a practice session and get
yeah.
Get my ass kicked as well at the same time.
I got you. Not trying to get piped by like
no,
something like that.
Exactly.
You know?
Some random teams as well. So yeah, but we do lots of content. But yeah, please, guys, make sure you subscribe to Liverpool 12th man. He will be coming on our channel as well. We'll be doing a lot more match previews, and with these calling shows, for me, it's an open platform for content creators like Liverpool 12th man, but also the viewers as well. Everyone is welcome to come on. 12th man, appreciate your time as always.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll be in touch very soon. So yeah, have a great evening. Or after. What's the time where you are right now? Is it after?
So it's about 4:20 in the afternoon, but
okay.
And I've been up since I work nights, so I was up till I got off work around 3 last night, and then I ended up driving home, and I'm like, all right, it's already like 3:20, 3:30. I'm like, just like threw some water on my face, you know, make sure I was awake. Got back in the car, drove back into Phoenix, which is like to go to my supporter pub, which is like 30 minutes away from my house.
Okay.
And what there, great showing. Big shout out to Crown Public House. They had we had like about 40 people, I'd say, about that. At 4:30 in the morning was kickoff for us. Keep in mind, okay, 4:30 in the morning. There's people going to a pub where you can't even buy alcohol until 6 a.m. So like, we're going there, we're sitting there. Luckily they have a kitchen, so we're eating like, an English breakfast.
Okay.
And we're, watching the match, talking pub talk. And
That's
then
nice.
yeah, once that 6 o'clock hits, it's like Carlsberg. It's like, it is what it is. We do our part. So
No, that sounds nice. I like the fact that people make such effort to stay up to it, because we do that here. So when I watch like UFC and boxing,
oh yeah,
I'm up.
that's rough.
I'm
That's
up
rough.
till like 6 in the morning. Like I'll put my curtains out and it's like pitch daylight. So I'm just like, yeah, I need
Oh
to go to
yeah.
bed.
Yeah, you'll have to see. I have we take a halftime picture at the pub, and like
Yeah.
it was funny when we went outside, the sun wasn't up.
Okay.
It was not up. And like towards the end of the game, you could see the sun like
Rising.
beaming in through the windows. It was like hitting the bartender in his like face. He was like, I can't see. And you're just like, oh my goodness. The measures we take to go and watch our beloved Reds, but it's worth it. It's all worth it.
It's definitely worth it. And I hope all the fans continue to support this team. It's a new era, so we've got to support our new coach. And yeah, hopefully we get some good times there. But Liverpool 12, man, thank you as always for coming on.
Appreciate you, brother.
I'll speak
Definitely,
to you very
always.
soon. Take care.
Definitely.
Bye. Just got a couple comments here. So Nick says 3 more games today to wrap up the week 1. Yep. And then 7:20 a.m. Oof. 7:20 a.m. Is that where you are right now? Oof. Very early. Appreciate you coming on and watching live. So yeah, big up guys. Big up to Liverpool 12th man, and big up to Bat Liverpool coming on the show. And also thank you to Luke 1688, Uncle Rods, Stu Mac, and Nick Fadley with your comments. Appreciate you guys as always. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. In terms of upcoming content, I will be back on Monday evening, 10 p.m. UK time. I'll be doing my Premier League weekly show. So it'll be me reviewing all of the games that are taking place on the weekend. Just give you my take of each game and see what's happened, because there's a lot of results that happened today. Some surprises, some not. And then we can talk about this Liverpool game a little bit more in detail as well on Monday. And then we'll have our transfer talk shows as well. Next week, we'll have a transfer talk show on Tuesday. And then we'll have a Liverpool dedicated transfer talk show on Wednesday. And Thursday, I'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool's next game as well. So lots of content coming your way. So yeah, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So yes, thank you guys for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye.